As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. I don't know what it is today, but time has seemed to be sped up. Maybe it's just for me. I just left those guys in Discord 3 minutes ago. I gave warning, 3 minutes to showtime. And I looked down. I haven't done anything. Looked down, and it's 1 o'clock on the dot. Where'd those other 2 minutes go? I don't know. It's been happening like that to me all morning. So somebody keep an eye on time because I think it's speeding up. That's how we're kicking this. That's how we're kicking this show off, Betty. Shh! I got you off.
Is the Earth turning faster?
How can we dance when the Earth is turning?
I saw a video the other day. I think it was one of these shorts or on TikTok or something, and that someone said, "Well, it's the Earth turned a little faster, 1 second and somewhat seconds. I don't know.
Is that what they
How
said?
do you call that? Yeah, yeah.
Did they have any cowbell?
Well, they used a Bible text.
Oh, really? Which one?
Some in Revelation that time will get shorter, because otherwise no flesh will be saved.
That's what the one they used? No, that's not out of context at all.
You know that 1 second will really save the day.
They tell us into the break. They tell us our time is the decay rate. No, that's not time. That's the decay rate of cesium atoms. While building immense sundials, yeah. Time is not clocks like yardsticks aren't a football field. That's how I usually put it from back in the day.
You know what else? What else they said in the comment section?
What?
I was looking for flat earthers, but I couldn't find one in that specific one. And one guy said, "Well, maybe it's the Earth is getting angry and wants to speed up and shake us off."
It's getting angrier, like the one you have in your thumbnail right here.
Yeah. But the thing is, you know, that if the Earth is angry already, it's turning already. People out there, it should shake you off already if it's that centrifugal.
Centrifugable.
No. It's like spectrochocoloscopy or something.
The centrifugable.
Wouldn't it shake people off already? I mean, people hold these two thoughts in their minds, right?
Well, they hold the saying is they hold two mutually exclusive thoughts in their head at the same time.
Suffering succotash.
So I'm slurring my speech a little bit. What's it to you?
Well, first I did it, and now I sort of contaminated you.
Yeah, you did sort of contaminate me. I gotta get. It's a little cold. I'll tell you what, man. It's gonna get downright frigid here.
Good, because now it's warming up on this side.
Really?
Well, we have rains now. It was like last week. It was all like slippery on the floors and that sort of stuff. It was nasty and cold. And now today I had my winter coat on to walk a dog for a neighbor of mine, and I was freaking sweating, man. It was hot, and I thought, what happened? I should have taken another coat to put on.
So now back to my story.
Oh, your story.
Yeah, I started this story.
I was having a good story.
It's an okay story, but it's branching off.
Oh, it's okay, huh?
It's an okay story. It's just not. It's branching off. You rumpus. You bowed your way in right into my story.
Bow your way in.
Yeah. It's short for elbowed your way in, not a bow like in compound bow.
Go on.
All right. So the temperature. I was gonna look this up, but the 3 minutes went away really quick. Like I said, I'm at 12:57, and I said, okay, well, I'm good. Look back down, 1 p.m. on the dot. I'm like, where did those 2.5 minutes go? So back to my story. I was going to look up the temperatures because I know you Celsius idiots over there don't know when we say Fahrenheit, but this is what it is in Fahrenheit. For the high,
doesn't make sense, the whole Fahrenheit thing.
yeah, for the high on Thursday, now it's going to reach that early in the morning, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We ain't concerned about that. We're concerned about sunrise. That's what I call day. So the high during the day is 4 degrees Fahrenheit. The low, minus 15 with 40-mile-an-hour winds.
What is it in Celsius, you said?
Yeah, I was going to look it up, but I didn't do it.
That's lazy.
You look up 4 degrees, I'll look up minus 15.
No, it's your story.
Son of a 4 degrees F to Celsius. That's it. It'll be quick.
10 or something.
Hey, Brian.
Hello.
What's up, Brian? 4 degrees.
Brian, did you see the Trojan horse that QE put in the Ballbusters?
Why are you going off to another story? Chill with that.
I didn't, Betty, no.
You didn't?
Son of a bitch. Just chill out, relax. So 4 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll get to it, Betty. 4 degrees Fahrenheit. You have a hard time focusing, don't you?
No, you have. You have a task. I was talking.
So 4 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 15.56 degrees Celsius.
Minus 15.
That's the high. That's the high. So the low is minus 15. F.
F?
Yeah, F. Shut up. Minus 15. Oh, I'm gonna have to put degrees in it. Gee. Maybe Bev thinks that's an angle. Minus 15 degrees.
I'm just saying hi to Adam. Adam Meakin is in the house.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
2 Celsius.
Evening, guys.
Evening.
Hey. Good evening.
And happy Christmas to everyone, of course.
It's not yet Christmas, people.
Yeah, it's getting close.
It Grumpus says.
So is it haggis time again, Adam?
Not on to haggis. There's not on to haggis just yet. Minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 26.1 degrees Celsius.
Minus 26?
Yeah. That's the low. Now, that's not the wind chill. That's closer to minus 35, I think minus 33 degrees Celsius. So now you can move on to the other subjects. Haggis, Yeah.
So minus 15 is minus 3 then in Celsius.
No, minus 15 Fahrenheit is minus 26 in Celsius.
Well, either you want to get good at the bow or you don't.
What?
Well, either you want to get good with the bow or you don't. And that getting good means getting out there in the worst weather.
Good. What the hell does the bow have to do with this? Jesus.
I pre-assumed you were telling Betty why you weren't going out with the bow.
No. It was just a weather thing. I'll tell you what, you need to get on Amazon and start ordering Adderall in metric tonnage.
It's out. Haven't you heard?
Is it out?
Yeah, they have problems delivering Adderall.
It shows.
Yeah, because you have the whole packages.
I don't. Yeah, I'm hoarding the packages of Adderall so you guys don't get any.
You're with Adderall, man. You need it.
All right, on to haggis. Now, the first subject was there was something hidden. You were talking about something hidden there.
Trojan horse in the Ballbusters.
Is there a Trojan horse in the Ballbusters?
Mm-hmm.
Where
at? I know you called it that.
It's not a Trojan horse because it doesn't destroy anything. It's just a subtle.
It destroyed its reputation.
Nah, it's just something subtle in the song that most people won't catch. Did anyone catch it in the song? In Bad Moon Shadow.
Where is it, Betty, that you're talking about? Is it Ballbusters Skype or Ballbusters
Ballbusters, the song Bad Moon Shadow. You smoking those potato trees?
No,
That's-
Betty said that there's a Trojan horse in Ballbusters. I'm looking for where.
yeah, but it's also a visual.
Oh, brother.
Talking about
I don't know where that is though. Are you talking about in Skype or in Discord?
Oh, here we go again.
It was in the video, in the YouTube video that we that we taped live, of course, last Saturday.
The one that I threw together?
Yeah.
What, the rotating moon?
No.
Yeah, there was something in there.
Now, she used the wrong phrase, Adam. There's not a Trojan horse in there. There's just a subtlety that most people won't catch up on. It's in the lyrics.
It's not in the lyrics.
Well, what the hell are you talking about then?
Oh, come on, Mr. Potato Head.
I'm not Mr. You call me Mr. Potato Head?
With reason.
Come on, Betty. No one knows who you're talking about. Go ahead and spill the beans.
I will hold my horses. You just go on. With
Oh,
your
brother.
Black Shadow Moon or whatever.
Black Shadow Moon. Yeah,
What was the point in that?
There is none.
We're not going to find out.
No, that's part of her charm.
As far as you know.
Her female mystique, is that? Just
Yeah. What do we want? So, what does somebody? I seen somebody. Hey, QE, I have a Christmas card. I'd like to personally hand to you. We can meet in Oklahoma. Only time I'm going. Yeah, Oklahoma. That's a pretty good little drive for me there, brother. I'll bring you a couple sandwiches. You're gonna have to put some more honey in that pot to get me to Oklahoma. Save for March 31st through April 2nd. I'll be in Oklahoma then.
Why?
Total Archery Challenge.
Is it exactly there?
It's exactly in Oklahoma.
Exactly in Oklahoma. Oh. Sounds like the wild, wild west.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the pinnacle of archery.
So what do you think of my thumbnail then?
Of the newest, the one I'm using now?
Yeah.
I like it.
You just saw it, right?
I did just a few minutes ago, yes.
Did you notice anything?
I didn't have a chance to look at it closely. Let me pull it up here because I'm looking at it. It's pretty small for me here. I did notice the Quantum Eraser logo on the rangefinder case.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Okay. Is there anything else I should notice?
Yes.
Hold on.
Let's see how meticulous you are.
During the show?
No, on the pictures and
Yeah, during the show. Duh.
finding stuff out. Yeah.
All right, let's see. I see the deer back there. It's in shadow. That's a good.
I put the deer behind you because I know that you will never ever shoot deer.
Yeah. Thank you.
So that's sort of a pun.
Okay, we got some shadows on the. They got 3 reindeer.
And it's Christmas guy. Yeah.
And a Christmas guy. Yeah, that's what we call them. You're gonna have to work with the snowflakes a little bit. They look like sleet balls.
Well, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, that's true. The 2 angry faces, obviously.
I liked it because it's sort of what the globers look like. Right?
It's like a mirror.
Yeah, it's almost like the moon behind it, right? It's,
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
pissed. The Earth is pissed, so everyone should be pissed.
But the moon is hiding behind the Earth. Too funny. But that's not it. I mean, there's something else.
Yeah, I know you erased my my sling, my bow sling.
Exactly.
You also did something underneath my sight, which is kind of perplexing to me. What the hell is going on there?
Yeah, because there's a bit of that wire that you grab your bow onto, right? And I had to get rid of that. So.
Yeah, I know. I noticed. What the hell did you replace it with? Just nonsense?
The computer replaced it with something. And I did.
Yeah, my scope is totally gone.
Well, people can feel that out.
You know what's funny though? If it would be possible to scroll in close to that arrow, all my arrows have the Quantum Eraser logo on them.
Yeah. Well, if you really would take a close look, you would never find it because there's too less of pixels there.
Yeah, it would be very difficult for you to bring that option out there. Let me see if I can find those arrows. But did I do a good job? Did I find it?
Yep, you did.
The Earth or the Moon face doesn't have an eye boogie or anything that I missed?
No, I thought the tampering with your bow would be big enough.
I knew you tampered with it because there's some places it looks like a Hoyt. Yeah, right out in front of my hand. What the hell is going out there?
Because you also hold that with that string, and I had to replace a bit of that stuff there too.
Yeah, there is a bit of the string, or it's not a string, it's a rope going around my hand, but then it disappears off in Never Land.
Yeah, true.
All right. So you did a good job with it. There's a lot of intricate parts with that. So you did a good job with it.
Yeah, it took me long enough. Almost a whole afternoon.
We're just talking, guys. We're OBS studio disconnected. Now it reconnected. Son of a bitch.
Don't shout at it.
I didn't shout. I swore at it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, say what you mean next time. Let me see if I can get those arrows. Do I still have those?
The wraps.
Yeah, let's see if you guys can see them on here. I'll go ahead and put them on there.
Yeah, so that picture that you made of yourself, was it also minus something?
Outside, it was pretty chilly, but it wasn't negative degrees, no.
Because otherwise you wouldn't have done it, huh?
Yeah, it's too cold. I wouldn't go out there. So as you can see over here, some of them are turned in a certain way. You can see it says passing through on the teal ones. The teal ones are these guys, this side. So you can see the Quantum Eraser logo. You can also see it on the white ones right here. But these teal ones say just passing through.
Yeah, you got one with a orange knock on it.
I do.
It seems to be one of your favorites. I see that pop up everywhere on pictures.
What's that? The orange one?
Yeah.
In fact, I don't like the orange one. I like the green ones. I can see them better.
Yeah, but you have the orange one, and you always have them with you somewhere.
I'm wondering.
One of these two arrows that you have in the quiver, one of them is orange.
Yeah, it is. It's one of my. Those are just my practice arrows I take out with me. So the orange one is sacrificable. But I just wanted everyone to know there is a Quantum Eraser logo on every single one of these arrows. Just so you know.
So if you find one, bring it back.
Yeah, if you find one of them that you know who it belongs to.
Yeah.
If it's
you did lose a couple, didn't you?
If it's sticking in your ass, then it's got a Quantum Eraser. That caught you off guard, didn't it?
Yeah, because it's so funny. I see it happening.
You see it happening, don't you?
Yeah, I see it happening, and they're coming back for more.
Dude, buddy. Yeah. Go ahead. What were you saying?
What was I saying?
Yeah, before I said I rumpushed you. I overtalked you quick because I thought the moment was fleeting.
Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought on that one.
Are we gonna let other people talk during the show, or
Yeah, that was just what I was thinking. So
really?
yeah, you read my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, because they feel slighted and stuff because their poor little egos can't take not talking.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we got our moments, right? So this was our moment, and now the rest is open game.
Well, it's still because I'm getting a lot of echo, by the way.
For me?
I don't know. Let's try it. Ollie oxen free. No, not from you.
Okay.
Now it's from you. Dad, I caught you.
What?
You went on mute when I did the Ollie oxen free, so
No, I wasn't on mute. Really, I wasn't.
So back to the topic that a lot of these guys are on Nathan's show and they can't get a word in edgewise, so they come on this show expecting to have their feelings heard, and we just go on and on and on. Me and you, they're getting more pissed by the minute.
Well, let's talk about last show because I really loved that show. It was really good, like setup, and I liked also that maybe other people would present from time to time on Ballbusters, right? Because that's basically what we sort of envisioned for it, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it never really happened that way. It was me giving all the presentations, and we're into the 90s in Ballbusters, so it's time for other people to take the reins.
I think so too. But you lay a higher standard, right?
I do.
Yeah. But this time everything came together, like the thumbnail and your song, although it was like cringing. Did you get a copyright strike on that one?
I did.
You did?
Yep.
How's it possible? Didn't look anything like the original.
They must think I'm John Fogerty. I took it as a compliment.
Of course we would.
Adam wants me to take it off. I said, nah, leave it on there. I feel good with it.
Why would you take it off?
Or try to get it reduced. It's sort of a copyright strike. They have a new category they call sharing. It shares the revenue.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's sharing with CCR, by the way.
Who's CCR?
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, okay. Well, isn't that good? I mean, sort of gives you the right to use that song now.
It sort of does, and it portrays me as something close to John Fogerty, which I thought anyway.
I think it's bad advertising.
I don't know. People are starting to question whether he sings it better or I sing it better.
Well, haven't these people checked their ears?
Yeah. I knew it was coming.
Only not one.
You sound pretty zesty, too. You know, I am sorely vexed by your zest.
Sassy. Yeah. Well, I thought that maybe if you would sing through it, that the song would almost be unrecognizable for them. So much so that they would not copyright strike. But if that's a new category, does that mean that it's not so much in violation as they had it before?
Perfect sense. Adam, do you understand what you just said?
I
No.
mean, sorry, Adam. Go on.
Sorry, I got a mouthful of Scotch egg.
Gotcha.
I'd say something on it.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, thank you. I would say that I would see it as a compliment that you're getting a strike on it. If you didn't get a strike on it, it means that you wouldn't have sang that song so close to how it's sang by the original, even though it's not the original song. I would see it as a compliment. They can't decipher whether your song because it's a 50-50 situation, whether your song should get all the rights or their song should get all the rights.
My thoughts exactly, Brian.
Just a bot.
Puke, puke.
There was some computer bot claiming it. All you got to do is challenge it and you'll get it back.
Huh.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, maybe we could talk about that after the first of the year. I'm going to put everything on the back burner until after the first of the year is over.
Yeah, you have a lot of things on the back burner, don't you?
I do, because it's Christmas week. It's these 2 weeks are holiday weeks, so it goes a bit slower.
Does this mean we're not going to play the song tonight?
Yeah, that's what it partially means, yes.
Now do it.
Well, it
I mean,
depends.
what more could you want for Christmas than that again? Beautiful.
Will they get more pissed if I keep playing it?
No, because it's not them, is it? It's a bot claiming it. So all we've got to do is challenge it, which is exactly what I did with chocolate stuff. I don't know if you used it. Every time you challenge it, they back down because it's not their copyright either.
Huh. Now we got Arwen out in chat. I'm starting to raise a weathered eye towards your direction, Arwen.
He said he was coming to chat, Skank.
Yeah.
Pre-Christmas drivel?
Yeah, we have some chat skanks that I don't know if you listened to. You probably didn't. No, you didn't listen to the after show. You weren't there on Nathan's. That I called one of Nathan's supporters out. I've been catching him saying some questionable statements that raised a weathered eye. So that's what Arwen's doing. Arwen's kind of, because I told everyone, be very, very careful in what you write in chats.
Write in chat?
That's right. Be very, very careful. We're hunting rabbit.
Suffering succotash.
No, it's not a suffering succotash ordeal. It's not that type of situation.
I like it.
We're not hunting J-Twig ballers.
Say, can you, one of you guys, summarize what you guys said last show on the new, I think it's a new housekeeping question?
Hold up, Betty. Put a cork in it. Chocolate says, Chocolate in chat says, why does QE have a man purse in the picture? It's not a friggin' man purse, you knucklehead. They're not tampons either.
That's.
It's you ignorant Muppets. That got two cases. One's a bino case, has binoculars in it. The other one is a rangefinder.
Yeah, it's a purse.
Yeah, that's right. You'll be on another list here in less than 5 minutes there, Sunshine. Go on, Betty.
Oh, my goodness.
Take the cork out.
Yeah, from where?
You really want to know?
No. So what I was trying to get things a little bit on the flat earth topic thing, right? I made a nice bridge and you ruined it.
Go ahead. I won't collapse your bridge. Go ahead.
It's already down.
You got to have a little faith, baby.
It was like a house of cards.
Yeah, you didn't catch that. Remember the bridge that they all went at in on Kelly's Heroes, remember? What's his name? You got to have a little faith, baby. And then he watched the bombardiers come in and destroy the bridge.
Yeah, you must have been there for that, I think.
We both watched it, you knucklehead.
I have no recollection of that at all.
Yeah.
Acting.
You sound like Ollie North.
I have no active memory of that.
Yeah. Okay, Ollie.
Prime Minister says the whole time. So that if he can use it, I can use
Yeah, he's pulling an Ollie North.
it. Sure.
Okay, what was your bridge? You were bridging something?
Yeah, I was trying to get someone to summarize what happened last Saturday and what became, I think, a new housekeeping question on Nathan's.
Well, hell, you got Brian sitting up there not saying anything, climbing his damn potato trees. He's the one.
Yeah.
The potato
Well,
tree.
potato tree. I'm never going to hear the end of that. It's very simple, Betty. The full moon shadows are identical to the shadows created by the sun. Whereas in the heliocentric model, they had to claim that the sun was very big, and then consequently they had to make it far away for that very big size they claimed to match the angular size we see. Because they need to claim that the light is coming in parallel. Because Eratosthenes supposedly claimed that he pre-assumed the Earth to be a globe, and the proof of that was that the sun was really big and far away, which would give us parallel light. Because if the sun was small and close, that would give us divergent light from the sun that would make the shadows, proving the Earth is flat. But in the heliocentric model, the moon is small and not far away from the globe in heliocentric terms. I mean, 238,000 miles is not a big distance in heliocentric distance. It's a very small distance. And the moon is only a very small, maybe a quarter the size of the globe. So consequently, it can't, under any circumstances, give the globe Earth parallel light. Because heliocentrism don't deny parallel light. That's why they had to make the sun very big in diameter. To claim the light was still not after diverging by the time it hit the globe. Not that it's the light from the sun, their sun is not diverging. It's just by the time it hits the globe, it hasn't diverged yet. So the globe gets parallel light. But the only reason they claim that was to explain the shadows that we see in reality on a globe Earth. Also a way of diverting away from Eratosthenes' method, which was an elevation angle. But if the full moon gives us the exact same identical shadows as the sun, and it does, that completely destroys all of heliocentrism. And Adam, being the genius that he is, was able to think of a sundial. And I never crossed my mind. Adam said, what about a sundial? He went and checked out, and it turns out there was that the full moon works perfect with a sundial. There was no change. And there was such a thing called a moon dial, which is a sundial, but it has it's for the phases of the moon, not for the full moon. It's for the phases of the moon. You change this thing called a volvel on it you change this thing around. It's a rotating wheel. You change it around to give an extra 48 minutes every day. And that means your moon time, your lunar time, and your solar time are exactly in accordance. But on the full moon, you never have to do that. It's always 100% perfect on the full moon. Now, there's no way for that sundial to work perfectly with a full moon in the heliocentric model, completely destroying the model from its very beginnings.
Wow. Nice.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah. Great. So a sundial, and it works also for the moon, but then you have to adjust for time.
Only with the phases. With the full moon, there's no adjustment needed. Full moon is always at solar time. So whatever the solar time is, the full moon of that day will always be exactly the same. It's only for the phases of the moon that the changes need to be made.
Nice. So, and what's now the extra housekeeping question? Is there something that's being asked now?
Not yet. We haven't really. I wanted to talk about it, but I haven't been on the live show past 2 days, so I've only been on the after show, and obviously with yesterday's after show and today's, it just didn't happen. But I'm like, we're open to suggestions. I was thinking of, is there any, like me and refracted curvature were talking about it yesterday, and we were debating whether we would say, is there any refracted curvature was saying, is there any evidence that sunlight is parallel? And if they claim the sunlight is definitely parallel, then that debunks them, because the full moon shadows can't be identical then, but they are. Whereas I said, is there any evidence that the moonlight that we receive is parallel? And that's, for me, the argument I was making is if they state it's not parallel, it's divergent, that means that, well, if it's divergent and we get the exact same shadows using from the full moon as we do from the sun, then that means, and it's all supported by the sundial and the moon dial. It's all supported. It's the sundial is enough to support it with the full moon, because you don't need the moon. You don't need the Val with the moon dial or with the full moon. So if it's all supported, by that, the whole point is that if we say, is there any evidence that the moon's light is parallel, and someone says no, it's divergent, which it has to be, and which it is in the heliocentric model, that means that the sun's light must also be divergent and not parallel, destroying the whole model. But I'm open to suggestions. It's not my. I mean, it's a housekeeping question. So whatever is the best question is the best question. I don't have an ownership on it.
Well, maybe the housekeeping question should be: are there parallel sun rays, or is there parallel light on Earth? Something like that.
No, because you could debunk that quickly. It has to be connected with the bad moon shadow.
Well, because you can, well, then you can connect it afterwards. Then.
Yeah, Refracted was saying that. He was going for this. Is there any evidence that the sunlight is received by us parallel? And I was going for the. Is there any evidence that the moonlight is received by us parallel?
Yeah.
It depends on what route you want to take, but I think I would go with the moon. But as I said, it's up to the whole panel. It's up to everyone what everyone is happy with, and we'll argue it out, I suppose. Anyone, any suggestions?
QE, do you have any?
I know I'm really good at short, concise questions, but I haven't really thought about
it.
We could also say, sorry.
I'm just questioning why not.
It's a slow time this year.
Unbelievable.
Well, it was National Bow Day yesterday, so I had to take care of my bow.
Maybe we should put it in a syllogism, something like that.
I don't know. People with syllogisms, they have difficult time understanding them. I'm going to have to break that down.
Yes, that's why I like it. You make everything difficult where it's easy.
I do not. I try to do the opposite of that. Son of a... You son of a wonderful woman.
Thanks.
Well, what about this, Betty? What about this? See what you think of this. Is there any evidence that the sun, that the shadows created by the full moon and the sun differ? Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Or
yeah.
are the
Is there any evidence they're different? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not the same? Yeah. Is there any evidence they're not the same? Yes. Is there any evidence that the shadows created by the full moon and the sun are not the same?
That's not all that bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, the thing is, it also debunks the whole big sun, small moon paradigm, doesn't it? It's not just the whole shadow stuff, right? Which is basically stupid. But it also debunks many more things.
Yeah, because one of the things it does is it shows that Eratosthenes saying that if we had a close and local sun, that would mean that the Earth has to be flat, which would prove the Earth is not a globe. And also all their claims to do with the stars, which are all back claims, kind of add-on claims to their claim that the sun is the star and the sun is really big and we get parallel light from the sun. Everything to do with the stars, all their claims about that all start with the sun, because the sun was the focal point, heliocentrism. So if we are debunking that, we're debunking every part of it, including the globe, the Earth being a globe.
Yeah, it has many, many implications.
Yeah.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah, but
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think that's an understatement. It's great. Nobody thought of this ever before. I mean, we tried to debunk Aristophanes, but
Oh, we did that a long time.
Usually we don't go any further, right? Because we
Right.
don't change after. What did you say, Kiwi?
Yeah,
We
there's a
don't-
lot of things that debunk Eratosthenes long before you get to this point. However,
Exactly. We usually weren't let go in that direction because you already stopped us in mid-track.
yeah, yes, but I think this one has some teeth that could branch out. So this is an exception. It's an exception to the rule because I usually don't like begging the question, like five,
it's a question.
like five streams down from the main river. Yeah, but in this case, I seen it. I'd like to speak to another thing that Brian said because their claims are that the sun's rays come in parallel because they have to come in with their large, faraway sun. But that's their claim, so they have to stick to their claims. However, in reality, we don't see that. And I'm showing, we went over this many times before on the live stream, how the sun's rays are divergent.
Yep.
So we know this. So, but they have to claim, they have to stick to the fairy tale religion, right? But they don't look at reality, which is, I don't know what to call that. It's some type of religion, some type of fanatical religitard.
Religitard?
Yeah, it's a fanatical religitard type of moiety. How you like that? Boy, I saved my bacon with that one.
The what? Moiety? What?
Yeah, moiety. Yeah.
What is that word? I don't know that one.
Well, you should look it up.
Mm.
So, as you can see, I mean, my word.
Yeah, but that's refraction, isn't it?
Refraction. No. What's refraction? You fell into that. Well, you just tossed up a watermelon hang curveball.
You know, this picture that you now have on with the silver lining clouds, and you can also see shadows of the clouds too. You know, it's
Yeah,
really,
underneath
really
the clouds. Yeah.
Are you just talking chemistry or?
Listen, Adam had to come in, and you just talking chemistry. Yeah, it's a chemistry term. Yes. So I took a little artistic license with it, Adam. Okay, go back to eating your haggis.
It's not haggis. It's a Scotch egg.
What the hell is a Scotch egg?
Brian, tell him what a Scotch egg is.
Does it have potatoes in it?
No potatoes.
I actually never ate one, Adam. I'll be honest. No, I've never ate a Scotch egg. I think there's something like brandy involved or something.
No.
I have it wrong then.
Boiled egg, really softly boiled, and you wrap it in mincemeat, like sausage meat, and you roll it all in breadcrumbs, and you deep fry that baby, and then you cut it open, and the egg inside still soft. You got egg, sausage, and a lovely nice crust. Scotch egg.
That doesn't sound all that bad. I don't know about
damn good.
I don't know about the mince meat sausage moiety.
Sausage mince meat. You know, the same meat you'd have in a sausage, but sausage mince meat, and then you mould it around the egg. So you got and then
you have to peel
breadcrumbs around that.
Do you have to peel it? Yeah, you do. After you roll it around in the breadcrumbs, Betty, you put it in the deep fryer, and then what you do after you take it out of the deep fryer, you peel all that breading off.
There's some good eating there. Don't peel it off.
And the sausage, Betty. You peel all the breadcrumbs and the mincemeats.
They told me. So if I'm like following the instructions, I would have an egg, a soft-boiled egg, wrapped in minced meat.
Oh, do you take the shell off of the egg?
Nobody told me to do so in this recipe.
You should go to Bev's server then. If you need the egg to be told that, you're in the wrong server.
I was thinking the same thing. I was just getting ready to say it.
I'm just numpty in the kitchen, man.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I put a slightly refined version of Brian's Black Moon Shadow housekeeping question, which was excellent, in the chat. So I just wanted you to read it out. It's basically Brian's, a tiny refinement to it.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I wasn't looking at it.
That's okay. But kudos, Brian. Good work.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Thank you, Nathan.
So let's see what he wrote.
I need changing. Wrong.
Okay, this is what Nathan wrote. He said, any evidence the sun and moon shadows differ due to distance? And, of course, the copyright from Nathan Oakley.
No, because you need the parameter of surface nature. That's the underpinning point that Eratosthenes' claim. Okay, that there's 2 points. That the size of the light source is, when we say big and small, it's bigger and smaller in relation to the surface of the Earth. Okay, so it has to be a bigger light source than the whole entirety of the ball Earth, or smaller and closer, because those effects play out, are possible, as Neil deGrasse Tyson outlines. Those possibilities only play out if we vary the surface. So the way in which we can get the shadows isn't just big and far away. It's big, far away, and a curved surface. Yeah? And the other alternative is a flat surface with a close local, i.e., and this is the crucial point, i.e., smaller. So even in their model, the moon, you see, is smaller than the Earth, which is a denial of the first premise with regards to what the illumination can be. But you mustn't exclude the nature of the surface, because it's a three-step claim. I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. Because they had to claim the sun was really big to be able to claim parallel light rays. It needed the diameter needed to be extraordinarily bigger than the globe.
For what reason?
The moon,
to bend the Earth. To bend the whole
Earth.
reason of that is to bend the Earth.
Yeah.
So you know what it sounds like to me. It sounds like Adam needs to come up with the question then.
Well, I think we maybe I'll throw it out there. I think I threw it something similar a minute ago, but see what people think of it. I think we may be going about it in the wrong direction. Maybe a little bit. Is there any evidence? Go on.
Getting into a question, I think, is difficult first step. And I was thinking about this earlier when you was talking, John. Getting it into some form of logical syllogism, a P and Q, I think might be easier first. Because it is like, there's so many steps, it needs summarising a bit better. It might be better to do that.
Yes.
First, and then from there, make the step to a more wholesome question that hits the nail on the head exactly. But a syllogism, I think, is what's required, because it's those three components that are important, and it's that differential in their claim that it's bigger than the thing it's illuminating and very far away is the reason you can accommodate the curvature of the Earth. But we have this thing that is in their model close and smaller than the thing it's supposed to be illuminating, and we have the match of the thing that's supposed to be the cause of those things, that the shadows, they match, even though that fundamentally denies the first premise of what is causing the shadow if the Earth is curved.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what about this? Is there any evidence that the shadows created by the sun and moonlight are not the same?
I wouldn't go to a negative. You're going to need positive speech here.
All right.
You don't need to go negative. It's strong, Bri. We've got to go bold with a bold claim.
Yeah.
A bit like the Black Swan. It's very, very powerful, because every part of the statements that we make are based in their model, their claims. We can say them without fair rebuke, because it's their claim, not ours. And all we're doing is demonstrating the errors in their claim. glaring error.
Well, that's why I said that. Like that was the point where, just to explain where I was coming from with that question, is that if there is no evidence that the sun and moonlight shadows are not the same, that's the end of it. But if you think it would need something bolder, yeah, that's fine. Whatever we work out, I suppose.
More wordy. It's got to explain. That makes sense to you because you know all the back story. Do you know what I mean? But you've got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be second grade. I wouldn't say simple, but enough that a second grader will catch it immediately.
Second grade. That's.
The only thing I was just thinking there about is just put it to them as the question is, why are sun and moon shadows the same at full moon?
Yeah, think about that for a second, Betty. Did we miss a super chat?
Yes, we did. But you guys were going on and on, so that was good.
No, go ahead.
It was good talk, so I wasn't.
It is a good talk, but go ahead. You can interrupt it now.
Okay, Unit Tox Femu, Sasha says, Merry Christmas, Tanya from Homeland.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Is he in your homeland?
My grandmother and grandfather came from Yugoslavia, and Sasha is Yugoslavian.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay, good. Yep.
Now, back to, so you guys get a chance to think about the housekeeping question. This one's on them. I'm gonna take a leave of absence from that one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. Don't sit on your bum and do nothing. You have really good ways of putting these things into a concise.
Wait a second. Did you just give me a compliment?
Yes, I did, and a challenge.
What?
On a full moon.
Go ahead, Adam.
On a full moon, how can the moon shadow give accurate solar time?
Why did you start with the sundial, indeed?
Yeah, I see where you're going with that, Adam. Hold on,
I
Betty.
was going to put sundial in, but that makes it too lengthy.
Yeah, it does, and it's not getting to the point. But I see where you're going. I appreciate where your mind's at, but it's that one's not going to make it.
Is there any evidence?
He starts laughing.
Full moon.
Sorry, Brian. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Okay, no worries. I was going to say, is there any evidence that the full moon light shadow? Is there any evidence that the full moon does not work?
You can't.
Is there any evidence that the moon does not work with a sundial?
You can't. That's a negative. What is that? I can't remember or recall what they said. In the military, one would write paper. Sometimes would have to do that. They had a phrase that you shouldn't write. Funny, I can't. I've just been so far removed from it. I keep on saying positive and negative, but they have a different phrase for it. Sorry. You could continue. I can't recall it. But in other words, what they wanted you to write in is a positive tone. In other words, not.
We should start with the sundial, right? So, if the sundial works for sun and full moon, and then continue from that, then why is it that the sun is bigger and the moon is smaller?
It needs to be a rhetorical question.
I understand, but I'm just thinking along. But I think that the sundial is the key.
You're not thinking.
Okay, Bay, how about this? If I have a sundial on a full moon, do I get a bad moon shadow?
And then QE starts singing.
Bad moon shadow. Okay, let's go back to a different point while they're they're still thinking, because I think there was a very good point brought up. Remember the claim that they all have is, not they all, but the Baltards and the heliocentric Baltard religion have. They tell us that the sun's light is essentially parallel. But then they come out with drawings showing divergent sun rays. This is NASA. One of these is from the Smithsonian. This might be from the Smithsonian. I'll have to go back and check, but you get the drift. I'm not pulling these from Joe Coffey off the street, right? So you see what I'm talking about. So what they're talking about both sides of their faces, in other words. See the divergent with the eclipses? Yeah, it's horseshit. There's another one.
Converging in that diagram, though. Oh.
Yeah, they're converging, yes.
Yeah. As well.
Yeah.
Like a bit of this and a little bit of that. It depends which question they're answering.
Yes.
Doesn't it? As to how the light behaves.
Yeah. Depends on what yeah, and it doesn't have anything to do with any of their previous claims. They forget about those. They've had that disease for some time now. Here's another one. They got convergent sun rays. What the hell? So in one sense, they tell us, yeah, they're just essentially parallel, but all their diagrams come out with convergent rays. We've went over this plenty of times in the past, so I don't get it. Yeah. And in reality...
How about this? How can the sundial work for the sun, both the sun and full moon, while the sizes differ of the lights?
I see where you're going there. You're going to have to put it in some type of unfragmented sentence.
How can the sundial which works for the full moon and the sun, work for different shapes, sizes of the moon and the sun?
You just can't say work.
Like that.
You just can't say work. I see where you're going, but you can't. It just can't be work.
I know that's the language thing.
Yeah.
Course, but
Yep.
you guys can make this concise.
Oh, so you'll give us something partly and have us fix it up.
Yes, because that sundial is the key, right? Because that's the evidence.
What about, is there any evidence that the sun is not close and local? Or small and local?
That you're still using not.
Yeah.
You have to stop being negative, okay?
But the thing is that I wasn't negative. I was compiling everything in one thing together. So when we claim that the sun and the moon are different sizes, how come the sundial works for the sun and a full moon?
How come?
Yeah, how come? How come? Yeah, how come it works for the sundial? I mean, the sundial doesn't give different readings for the sun and for the full moon.
You can
right?
come at
That's
that
what we
different. You can come at that differently. I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah. So how come the sun and the moon are different sizes? They say, but still the sundial works for those different sizes the same way. How can that be?
What about this? Along the lines of what you were saying, Betty, right? How can the Earth be a globe if the moon shadows match the sun shadows?
Yeah. Well, that could be a good thing.
Yeah.
And there's proof the sundial.
No, that's not contingent.
Well, why isn't contingent? Go on.
You could have all kinds of variable exotic media in between the light and the ground.
But it's the
Come
shadows.
on then, Overlord. You've got to have a go then.
Yeah, you have a go.
No,
AI.
But it's but the shadows. It doesn't matter. It's the shadows.
Look,
The shadows are what's important.
If you word this well, right, you'll be able to claim it's yours if it becomes a housekeeping question. So
Yeah.
have a bang.
Is there any evidence that a light source needs to be bigger than the Earth to produce the shadows we see on the ground?
Oh, that's really good. Well
That's
done,
a nice
sir.
one.
Now, Now, that's the pre-order. If you purchase the DLC, you'll get the rest.
Where do I sign? Where do I sign? That's good. Say it again, Overlord. Say it again.
That's not bad.
Hold on, though. Disclaimer. We need the money from the DLC before we can make the DLC because we got to hire new people.
He's only going to say it once.
Yeah, that's all right. It's taped.
No, that was a Mandela effect. It's not there when you go back. Trust me. Well, they do this on a small scale demonstration in an attempt to debunk this concept where they'll, you'll hear people say a light source can't produce a bigger shadow than the object or smaller. But then they get a light array, like a multi-light array, right? That's massively wide compared to a small object that they put on a desk. And then they try to show you, oh, that's how you do it, right? So in that demonstration, when they're trying to debunk that point, they have a massively larger light than what the little ball that they pretend is the Earth.
Now there is
so the premise in their mind is, what was it? I forgot. All right, go ahead.
It's your question. It's really good. So it's got me thinking. There's another point to this. When I was reading the Moondale stuff, one of the nuance points was there's a claim, and people have claimed that they've also attained a shadow from Venus. Now, remember, Venus has the same arc. I think the nuance you've got in there is good in terms of bigger, smaller, or equal to. But that's the other little nuance that's in there. But I think what you're saying is a bit to hit on is that larger or smaller body, because we have to keep it heliocentric. I think the question, because it's all heliocentric. There's no flat Earth in this whatsoever.
Betty, we got another super chat.
Yeah, I saw it, but things were progressing. Didn't want to interrupt. So we got a super chat from Face Reality. He says, not meant for educational purposes, decorative purposes only. Any evidence that is that is incorrect? And then he's
I see where he's going. Yeah.
A rocket, the Earth, and a clown, and a carnival tent.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I get it. Yeah, yeah. Thumbs up, Airface Reality. Good one.
So that same demonstration would be an attempt to rebut that question that I made earlier. Because you'd say, is there any evidence of the thing that I said earlier, which you need to pay $2.99 to get the DLC?
That's some bullshit.
So when you say that, they'll say, oh, of course there's evidence. Here, let me show you on my table with this massive light array and the Earth. Very interesting. But the problem with that, though, is that the scale is way off. They used to try to do that to combat this divergent, convergent, parallel problem. They have a massive light array, which by scale is only like half the distance of the radius of the ball that they're using. So you basically have an ultra close sun in their view in order to get the same shadow. So whichever way they go, they end up with the sun isn't where they claim it to be and the size they claim it to be. It's different. It's one or the other. You have to abandon one or you have to abandon the other.
Betty, you got a terrorist sympathizer in the chat.
Dealing with it.
I find that juicy because that's kind of the same way that the Black Swan went. If they went down one line of argumentation, they had to give up the radius. If they went down the other line of argumentation, they had to give up a geometric horizon. Didn't matter which way they argued. They lost. Either way, they win.
I love it when that happens.
So, do we have him? Housekeeping question?
We don't have it yet,
No, they
Betty.
don't come that easy. We've
There's
got about
one.
15 rows.
What's the matter with AI? AI just said, I like that one.
Won't repeat it. Although, to be fair, Into the Break crashed you up.
But I haven't received full funding. I haven't received full funding for the release.
It's in the mail.
Into the Break says, AI. This is your question. This is your question. I think he's zoomed back. Is there any evidence there's a light source that a light source needs to be bigger than the Earth to produce the shadows we see on the ground? It's still not right. If that's your thing, that's still not right.
No, he said a light source as big as the sun, I thought.
Doesn't matter. There isn't as big as the sun. They changed that over time. Their claim was fundamentally from Aristophanes that it was bigger than the Earth, right? To enable parallel rays on a sphere.
So
And to
maybe
do that, it has to be far away also.
So if this is true with the sun having parallel lines, and then continue it with the debunk. Then why do sundials work for both the size of the moon and the size of the Earth, of the sun?
Well, so for example, okay, so the logic might go like this. In order to see the shadows we see on the ground, right, from a external, extraterrestrial light source, it must be bigger or equal to the size of the Earth, someone might say. To which you then would rebut, well, in your worldview, the moon is smaller than the Earth, is it not? And they would be like, well, of course. You'd be like, then how come I can get the same shadows from the moon?
Yeah, the problem I have is you have to bring in size and stuff with that, which they can start begging the question, well, it has to be bigger because we're on a globe, blah, blah, blah. I think my original question... Well, I think my original question is the best of the lot. Is moonlight parallel? Is there any evidence moonlight is parallel? Is received by us parallel? That would be, now what way they go with that is finished.
That may be true, but in the spirit of the tempo of the questions, the questions are all framed in the other, like the other tone, like I can't think of the name of it either, but the other tone. You know what I mean? Like that would just stick out like a sore thumb. Not that it's bad.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah, I think that was the problem, is we're all trying to phrase this question in a way that keeps the tempo of the other questions.
Well, the thing about it is that this is kind of a shorter one, but you're still asking for evidence. You're asking for evidence that the moonlight we receive is parallel. Yeah, that's the evidence. That's what we're asking for, which means that they have to then try and prove that the moonlight is parallel, completely debunking their model, because it means that the whole original claim of their model is debunked, bring them into absolute absurdum. Or they have to claim it's divergent, completely debunking their model. Now, what they claim about the moonlight, whether they try and claim it's got parallel or divergent light, it's over.
I think that's the key. The key is that there is no established claim to that effect. And so the questions are all about established claims. Maybe that's why it doesn't seem to fit.
Well, the thing about it is that
there's got to be some established claim that touches on this. Seems like there should be.
Well, it's officially within their model, all light is divergent. Officially within their model, all light, including the light from the sun. It's just that on the globe. Go on.
I'm just to address that question. So they can rebut with, well, no, of course it's not. It's reflected sunlight, which is fine, really, isn't it? So because that's not, like I say, it's a 3-stage nuance that you've got to get in there: distance, size, and reason for the shape of the surface. It's those 3 things that we've got to get in there.
All right, I got it. So what we do is we come up with 3 different questions, which all lead down the same track, and the other 2 follow necessarily, and we mix it up to gaslight them. What do you think?
We don't need to gaslight them because it's their claim. They gaslit themselves. This is their error. This is their contradiction in their claim. Yeah?
AI's just playing with his food.
I'm thinking if the causation of shadows are, I see, it's smelly. It just becomes it's so convoluted. This is why I was thinking you need a logical syllogism of some description.
So I got another one. I got another one, but this one's humorous. Is there any evidence that the sun has a direct cell phone line to the moon to make sure that they both know whether to be divergent, convergent, or parallel at any given time?
Well, a ball together it must be because they are.
Kree, are you there?
Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to snuff down an orange.
Yeah, of course you are. I knew it. Can you read your messages? Because I wrote one up and I want your opinion on it.
You want me to read it out?
Yeah, well, if it's good. Otherwise, just leave it at.
Okay. If Eratosthenes is correct, proving the Earth is a ball due to a big sun with shadows, that has to be cleaned up, then why do sundials work for both the sun and the moon shadows when their sizes and distances differ according to their model?
That could be reduced to
model,
a
right? It's still their model that the Earth and the moon and the sun are different sizes. But you don't even know what the size of the moon is, crying out loud.
And they only need to be different sizes because they're different distances, which plays off, is there any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Oh. But I think that is a sort of a sort of a capture on the problem. Sizes differ and differences of distance.
Well, it is size. You see, sizes is the main thing because they have to claim a bigger size to the sun to get the parallel light rays. So size is if you want to work from that angle, it has to be the size that you're attacking. Well, what about is there any evidence that we receive a celestial light parallel? And then we could say maybe, well, what about the moon? Because the moon is the one light source in the sky that they claim we don't receive parallel light from. Because they have to claim we receive parallel light from every other light source in the sky.
Yeah, so the parallel light rays are due to the size and the distance of the supposed model of the sun, right?
Well, the size is the main thing. the distance is only to match the angular size that we see in reality. So they need to match the shadows and the angular size on a globe. And that means they need to make the sun very big, but to match the angular size, if you look at the size they claim the sun is, and you look at the angular size of that with its distance, you see it's just over 0.5 degrees, which is the average angular size we see of the sun.
So that would mean that the core tenet.
We see the sun is the same size as the moon, right? So they need that sun to be far away, because otherwise that sun would look much, much bigger for us.
Right. So the distance is the derivative of the first premise, which is the size needs to be as big or bigger than the Earth. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
the diameter of the light source needs to be a lot bigger to give us parallel light.
Sure.
And then they have to set the distance based on the angular size we see.
Right, or like in their mini model that they like to try to do, it's that oversaturation of the areas, right? So there's so much overbleed on the sides, right, that you get a saturated ground and then a distinct hard shadow. So it still seems to me that the core claim is the massive size of the sun compared to the Earth. So the core claim tenet seems to me to be, I need a sun that's as big as or bigger than the Earth. Or a light source, let's say, that's as big as or bigger than the Earth. So if I need that,
the ground needs to be curved. Yeah, that's the third caveat on there. I need a light source bigger than the Earth and far away if the surface of the Earth is to be curved. They're the three requisites that NDT lays out, and that's the purpose of having to make it big and far, because you can't have curve with close and local. It doesn't work. You've got to have virtually parallel light rays so that you can interpret the shadows as curvature of the surface.
Yeah, and it has to be something that's like, you couldn't have something that's the same diameter as the globe, as you'd have to have it butting up against it for even one part of the globe to get parallel light. It would have to be something that's way bigger than the globe. So even just the size of the globe is not enough. It has to be a lot bigger than the globe for the claim to even start. That's why Eratosthenes claimed it was 27 times the well, I'm working within their claim that he claimed it was 27 times the diameter of the globe.
Why are we trying to ascertain what Aristophanes thought? I mean, let's see when we can sort of reduce it to null, basically, what he said, right? If he ever said it.
Yeah, well, I'm just not going into the whole contesting of whether he said it or didn't say it, like on my beliefs on it or like or whether he existed. Doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? My attitude is more like it doesn't matter. There's a claim out there, and it's a positive one from their side. So
we all know that they wanted to make it work, and they sort of back engineered that big sun and parallel rays with the shadows. We all know that. But now we need to find a concise housekeeping question. So we all know this.
Right.
Now we need to make it concise.
Right. So we know that they have two contingent factors. The sun has to be big and the Earth has to be curved in order to see the shadows we see in their worldview. But we do see the shadows we see. And if we do see the shadows we see from the moon as well, then either way they go, they have to either abandon their claims about the sizes of the celestial objects, or they have to abandon the curved Earth. So it's kind of like a forked tongue double failure. If they go left, they fail. If they go right, they fail.
Exactly.
I like it.
In distances and yeah.
Go on, Betty. Sorry, I stepped on you.
No. I was done. Go on.
Well, I think maybe rather than trying to force a question, a housekeeping question, we should maybe allow it to happen itself. And some of the things we've asked might end up being, some of the questions we put out there might end up being the one that gets chosen, and maybe not. Maybe a whole new one will. Maybe we should concentrate on what the implications of this are. This means that they would have to admit that they haven't got a clue what the celestial bodies are, because everything they tell us about the celestial bodies is all based within that model. So that this would mean that they don't know anything about the celestial bodies. They know no more than me looking up in the sky. Regardless of what observatory they have, that doesn't give them any composition to the celestial bodies or any reason to the celestial bodies.
You got one out.
You know, so
go ahead.
I finished.
All right, you got one out in chat into the break. If the Earth is a ball receiving parallel light rays to form the shadows from the sun, then the moon shadows could not be the same, since the moon dial needs no correction on a full moon and the sun rays. Well, I see where you're going with that into the break. You're close.
Yeah, it's a little bit long, but he's correct in his premise. Yeah,
it's got the bits, hasn't it? It's got got the bits.
Yep. I immediately recognize that.
Can I say?
She looks really good, but she's very tall.
Yeah.
She.
Yeah, Eddie.
So really,
hold on a second. Hold on a second,
Go
AI.
ahead.
Hold on a second, AI. Go ahead, Betty.
Whoa, super chats. Can I?
Go.
Oh, whoa. So Five Angels says the Black Swan refutes sun and moon distance. The Holy Grail has been found. Why keep searching?
We like to play with our food.
You do. Tony Whitcomb, he says, FE bringing people back to a creator, something the powers that shouldn't be have tried to destroy.
Profound statement there, Tony Wickham.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You got it. You're all over it.
Everything becomes small again, even the sun.
Go ahead, AI. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Hey, that's a good verse. Everything that is exalted will be made low. Everything that is humbled will be made high. So the sun being big and far away will be brought close, and the moon will be pushed further away. Interesting. But so if there's three contingent factors, any of which missing would negate the entire conclusion, means that you just need to pick one arbitrarily over the other that's more palatable to the question in the tempo of the when you ask the question.
Oh, just don't give us the color commentary. Give us the damn question.
Oh, I gave mine. I thought mine was fine. But you could use a similar question with the parallel rays, but I think that requires more sentence structure, even though it's just one of the contingent factors.
I think if somebody works on into the breaks, because that's almost a syllogism, if I'm reading that correctly. If somebody could work on that, Adam.
Right. I was off mute. I started over talking you, so I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, sorry, Adam.
I was on mute. So
if you take the into the break, it's damn near modus tollens. If you could work with that, it's in the chat. Yeah. So if you could pull that out, it needs a little bit of work, but that's just due to language issues.
I've been sat here thinking, not really looking. That's why then I just started speaking. I realised I weren't on mute.
Why don't we?
That's the best for me so far, because it's got what we need in there, see that full moon. It somebody said why when you've got the Black Swan do you need this? There are ways of not every door will have the same key, and this is really, really powerful in a very different way. To me, this is like, for a super uber astronomer geek, this is absolutely destructive. Yeah.
Yep.
From the guys that recite Eratosthenes to you, because they know those shadows mean the Earth's curve. It destroys them. So I like the bits he's got in there, and like I say, it wasn't until we got the full moon that you got really excited, John. And I think that needs to be in there The two are equivalent. That sundial at midnight tells you it's midnight from the moon's shadow on the sundial, a place the sun never reaches, really. Yeah, it's destructive, and it's those three bits. You've got to get the three premises in, and then also I think crowbar in somehow that last bit of on a full moon, that solar time is read on the sundial by the moon. That's really powerful to me.
Well, I'll tell you why we need this, right? Technically, we shouldn't. Technically, we shouldn't need it, right, at this stage. But the reason we need it is because flat earthers out there didn't learn the black swan argument correctly. They started learning it off the ballers, talking to the ballers about refraction. Then we have other people out there who are claiming not to be ballers and not flat earthers, not even understanding what the term flat is pay attention to this word, describing, right? Who are putting it down and attacking it as being false. So that's why we need it, because a load of idiots didn't cop on when it was time to cop on. That's why we need it. Otherwise, we wouldn't need it. We shouldn't need it, logically. But we're not dealing with logic. We're dealing with a lot of people who listen to a load of idiots and then get their facts wrong and character assassinate things like the Black Swan. That's why we need things like this.
Yeah.
I think we should let Bev form it.
Oh, brother.
He's good at it. It's just an anger.
You're right, Neil. He does seem very focused on analysing what we say, at least. So maybe some good could come out of it. Maybe he could take it. Because they obviously spend a lot of time chewing over the meanings of words. By all means, if they could do something constructive for once, that'd be more than welcome. Got banana, QA?
No.
Let me ask you a question. Sorry, QE.
No, I'm trying to gather. I stepped out for a couple seconds there. I missed the last part of it, of what you guys were talking about. And I just came in and said, yeah. But now I'm trying to catch up on messages, so.
Can't go wrong by saying yeah.
Go ahead, Brian.
Well, it's like this. If you were stood on a sphere and I was stood 100 feet away from you on a sphere, would it be possible to create a horizontal between the two of us? A straight horizontal line. Now, it'd be difficult to determine what a horizontal is, but we could create a straight line based off of the ground we're on. Let's just say based off the mass of a globe. We could create a horizontal straight line between us.
No. Because whatever's horizontal to me cannot, if we're on a ball, be horizontal to you, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing about it, Jay. It changes around.
Horizontal to me destroys it ever being horizontal to you, unless you stood on my head.
Even at 100 feet.
Adam, you're in rare form tonight. That haggis must be going to your
It was a goddamn Scotch egg!
Adam, did you see that bottle of wine I got? That's the one, right?
That's the... yeah, that's the business, mate. That's my favourite. Beautiful. Montepulciano.
I'm trying
to lead on. Sorry.
I just said I'm going to try it tonight.
They're talking about wine, Brian. You know, you can't interrupt that, right?
Yep.
Jeez.
I wasn't talking
Well-
about wine. Neil randomly asked me about wine. And now
Because I'm a noob. Listen, I'm a newbie. I had it at my anniversary and I liked it. And I heard it thins the blood, so that's my excuse. Now I'm a whiner. Or a wino.
Let me throw this extra dimension at you, right? Over 100 feet, standing on a globe of a radius 3959 miles, we could create a horizontal between us, or 200 feet, a horizontal, what we could call a horizontal or an apparent horizontal, right? Even with a water level, we wouldn't be able to tell the difference from an optical point of view, right? We could do that. Now, technically, our horizontal would be different from our horizontal to someone else. Yeah,
I'm not being contrarian there. I'm saying say that again because I'm lost.
Yeah, if me and you, Adam, stood at 200 feet apart on a beach, on a globe of 3959 miles, we use water levels, right? Then optically, we couldn't determine what we are seeing as being not horizontal. We could say that's horizontal. Now, obviously, that won't be horizontal to someone in Australia if the beach we're on is in America, the UK, wherever. But the point is, we have put something together there that we can claim is, right, at least an apparent horizontal. But how would you prove? Hang on.
So you're saying the margin of error is so small between the two, you wouldn't be able to differentiate flat or round anyway?
Yeah, exactly. So how would you prove? How could you prove that it's a horizontal or not? Right? If we were trying to find out whether a horizontal and a level were the same thing, right? Whether the earth was flat or had a horizontal baseline, right? That you could run parallel to, or use, or if it was a globe, you would need a much bigger measurement, which would require a celestial navigation elevation angle. That would be the exact measurement. The point I'm trying to make is the argument Bev is making over on the Tri-Thinking server. Yeah, it's not a bad argument, but they'll never be able to prove it unless they adopt the elevation angle or airplanes, because they must adopt those two things, either of those two things into their argument. Otherwise, they're only talking about locals, and the ball doesn't go around in circles forever. So what they're doing over there, the starting premise that level is horizontal, yeah, that's fine, no problem with that. That's an axiom, great, right? But that's not going to do anything. You're never going to defeat the ballers with just that. You're never going to defeat them with just that. But when it comes to air travel, celestial navigation, elevation angles, that proves the point. And that's the difference.
What's your take on it, Betty?
I already gave my take on it.
Ah, shit, I thought I caught you away from the mic. I knew because they started droning on and on. I wanted to jump in there earlier, but they just don't let me do it.
Well, you were eating a banana, orange, Scottish egg, haggis.
Yeah, that you have to peel.
It's not Scottish. It doesn't have a passport. It's a Scotch egg.
I just had a pickled egg the other day. It was very good.
What?
It doesn't have a passport.
That was a good one. I said I had a pickled egg. Anybody ever have a pickled egg?
Yeah, we used to have them all the time in the chip shops, Neil. They'd have or in the pub as well. All English pubs would have behind the bar. You know, when you're a bit drunk, have a pickled egg. They don't now, but old school, yeah, they're rank, aren't they? They're freaking horrible. If you're really drunk, you'll eat it.
Yep. I got it because didn't he have that in that movie? What's his name? That was in that with the suits that you put out. Remember them jumpsuits you put out?
Oh, The Gentleman. Yeah.
Didn't he have a pickled egg? That was the first scene in when he goes into the pub. He gets a pickled egg and a beer.
Yeah. See, there you go. Gross pickled eggs.
But
It is
anyway,
exactly what it says, Huey. An egg, boiled egg, and you just for Betty's, you take the shell off, and then you stick it in vinegar and like you would a bit of beetroot and leave it for a year.
Leave it for a year. Yeah, that sounds appetizing.
Except, of course, if you have the pickled egg in the pub, even though it's been in the jar for you, that jar's probably been in the pub for about 6 or 7 years. With like 30 eggs in, and there might be 6 floating down at the bottom. But sometimes you'll have a go.
I'm an egg lover.
Yeah,
I'm an egg lover, but that shit's not passing mustard. Tell you that much.
Oh. The rank.
Go ahead, Brian. Brian wanted to get us back on track again.
It was Neil, red wine and then pickled eggs.
It wasn't Neil. He was getting us off track. Brian was getting us on track again.
well, if you want to be on track, I'm not trying to force this. I don't mind. But I'll leave it up to
Pickled
yourself.
eggs in Ireland, in the pubs in Ireland, Brian.
I don't think so, Adam. No, I don't see that.
No,
No, they got pickled potatoes.
I think it's part of an Illuminati.
Oh my goodness. Kiwi has a fetishism on potatoes, I suppose.
Don't you be concerned with my fetishes.
There was a large silence there.
I'll be sorely vexed.
That was I love that. What was that other word that you were supposed to remember?
What's that?
Yeah, there was another word in Ballbusters that you said. You were
Yeah,
going
I
to-
used it earlier. I am
What was-
sorely vexed by your zest.
Ah, zest. Oh. Was that it?
That was it.
Oh.
The source of the zestiness.
Hmm.
That's a zesty enterprise.
Do you guys think that before the end of the year we have that housekeeping question in order? Or does it take another year to formulate?
Nah, it'll fall into place. I'll get to thinking
Yeah.
about it in the next couple of days, and I'll get it done.
I just want to say,
Ready, so you only have to pay AI Overlord.
I want to say thank you to Into the
Me?
Break.
Thank you.
Well, obviously, thank you, Betty, just for being Betty. First of all, yeah,
Thank you.
Betty, thanks for being Betty. And then thanks to Into the Break for providing that, because I've posted it in the war room. I've already got a thumbs up. Who's done that? 10th man's already on it saying, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll work on that. So thank you. And happy Christmas. Into the Break.
Yep, I seen some underlying underpinnings with his short post that I didn't pay 100% attention to, but it had ringings of something that we could manipulate.
I think Betty could have this one. I think she's quite intrigued by it.
She
A
is.
number of goes. Yeah.
She is. She's pulling a Nathan, that she wants other people to do the work.
Yeah, but I think she might want the glory for this. Imagine having your own housekeeping question, Betty. Oh.
No, the only glory that I want is for my thumbnails. I like those.
And they're good.
Yeah.
Getting cryptic now. Hidden messages.
Yeah. Well, I like it. I just like making them be creative.
Man bags.
Man bags. Tampon holders.
You guys know that this was really QE down there. Huh?
Looked like it.
What are you talking about, Betty?
I'm doxing you.
What do you mean they really thought that was me? The first guy that used to come out, no, that wasn't me.
No. That was the fantasy of you, but then, yeah.
Did you say fantasy of me?
Yeah, people have fantasies about you.
What?
I think.
Oh, people do. Okay.
You might look like, right?
We were on about, there was somebody in Orwin's chat, I think Sunday, doing exactly that. So I just started trolling a little bit. Chat skanking in Orwin's. because they were asking what did you do in the military. So I was telling them that you were like Casey Ryback, one of these chefs. That's why we talk about food so much.
Casey Ryback. That threw you caught me with that one, boy. I wasn't ready for that. Why are they interested?
People are always interested in what makes people tick, and also what they look like in real life.
What makes people tick?
Yes.
Ticks, of course.
For you.
Chiggers.
Chiggers make them tick. Oh boy.
I heard someone else using that term, chiggers.
Yeah. Well,
That's amazing, Brian. What else have you heard?
Just had to throw it out there.
Just to hear it is amazing. I've never heard it. I only throw it in now because I'll never get chiggers. I'm never going to like encounter a chigger. You know what I mean? But I know about chiggers, thankfully, through QE Live. The crap we talk about for no reason. I have extra knowledge. I'm chiggered up.
You also know now about repellent of chiggers.
I know, and I also have that nasty image of QE in long socks.
Yeah, he raises them up until it's like armpits.
Well, I got my Insecticide socks.
It's basically body armor, people.
It's not body armor; they're just regular. You know what? I bought 2 more pair. My Flexolite ping pong paddle.
You're really serious about this, aren't you?
Well, after you get bit up, you start to get serious about it, especially the bites that I was getting. And they listen, they were just from hell.
And then you didn't like meat anymore.
No, we don't want to go down that road.
Nuclear chiggers.
Yeah.
Imagine chiggers that make you think it's a ball.
I wonder what these guys think.
That's what we're actually dealing with.
Those are gamma
Everybody's
chiggers.
been bit by chiggers.
Those are the gamma type.
Somebody says here, QE in socks and sandals makes sense.
Is that what they said, boy? Yeah. Thanks for calling that one out.
It's so easy.
Hey, Betty,
Yeah.
was it a dream? Oh, I've shared it before. That image of him in socks and sandals, you have to think about, Men in Black 2, when he goes back to find him and he's working as a postman, Tommy Lee Jones. That's the image of the chigger socks I have.
Which movie?
You're gonna have to find that image.
Men in Black 2.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones working as a postman.
Let me.
Smart long socks. Chocolates on it. I was telling him he was like Steven Seagal in Under Siege, yeah.
Post office or postman? Post office.
Postman.
Yeah, he's not a post office, Betty. He's a person.
Movie, maybe. Isn't that a movie?
It's plausible in Men in Black. Yeah, he could have been a post office. Honestly, it's chocolate. QE walks into a bar. Any seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo? How do I explain that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one, Chocolate. I mean, you're talking about some
With the ponytail.
obscure movie or something. I don't know that one.
I can't find a picture of that. What you mean?
I'll find it you and send it you, Betty, and then you'll know.
Yeah. I want to know what your view of that
I'm
is.
sure you do.
Absolutely.
And poked by my hair across Rome.
So I think we
And then I get accused of being arrested. I'd just like to point out, Emma, I wasn't arrested. I was detained to ascertain whether I was a European citizen or not.
I was
the reason they beat me
detained.
up and dropped me off in
because you
that
look
panda.
so alien
Wasn't
and they couldn't
arrested.
understand you.
I asked 15 times whether I was being arrested. That's why I walked away when I was told
They
no.
couldn't understand you one bit, and you looked alien to them.
My Italian's very poor.
Yeah, it was like that you were being portrayed as some type of outlaw.
Well, I thought, and then, like Tony's been accused of. I was also Flat Earth Society. I don't even know what that means. Because all we ever do is slag off what they say from the small. But you don't even look at Flat Earth Society, do you? Because they start with the accelerating up at 9.8 meters per second, and at that point you kind of move on, thinking I'm not really going to waste any time there.
Yeah, that was just pathetic. Like last part in the storm, childlike ad hom. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Ignorant ad hom.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I had given up time with my family to truck out on that tour to go and spread that. Whether you think that's profitable, fruitful or not, I wasn't engaged in any nefarious activity. It was no profit venture at great cost to myself, as it turned out. You know what I mean? Just kind of spread flat Earth. So to highlight that in some way because that undercover cop was a dickhead, and behave like that, that was some smite on me. That was usable. It was kind of the level you're dealing with, really. You shouldn't have to deal with such a retarded. There's the old adage, isn't it? Because look, listen to me now. The old adage: you can't argue with idiots. And if somebody puts that rebuttal to you, oh, look at me waffle as I try to announce it. You can't argue with idiots. What a retard! Or
Well,
once again, ill-informed, uneducated,
superficial nonsense. Yeah, but it was in a song.
Oh, there you go. There was another point today. You know, when I was a little bit triggered, and jumped in and went, "Oh, you're a liar." Okay, to Bev.
Yeah.
And Nathan kind of undermined it because he said the reason it was all right to lie to his audience and state lies in an argument was because he was dealing with Ruhif. But Nathan pointed out today that no, it was him he said it to first. You can do fuck all with an angle. So he wasn't lying.
No, Nathan is wrong.
Is it the way around? Well, no. So this is the next point. No, we're there because this is the next point. So if his justification was that he used it with Ruif and it was all right to do so to a baller, why did he then do it to Nathan, who he knows is a flat earther? Why did he then repeat it? So it doesn't matter on the timeline to me, because the admission is that the justification of lying to anybody in debate was he was doing it to a baller. Is that why he didn't put out the video with Nathan? But it's not out there in debate. I'm done, Brian.
Look, if they want to prove their premise, they're going to have to adopt elevation angles, celestial navigation elevation angles, or airplanes as part of their argument. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to prove their premise. They'll only be able to prove a local horizontal that you can't tell the difference between a globe of 3,959 miles. You know, the very thing that proves their claim.
I said he lied yesterday, right, and got himself out of the lie with another lie, just a false justification that the reason he lied was because he was talking to Ruhif. So it's all right to lie in argument and provide false argument if you're dealing with a baller, which I think we all objected to today. But the point I'm making was I heard Nathan say that he said the same thing to him. So that means the justification, he either has to stand by the statement that he finds it's true, which is what we were arguing yesterday, or the double justifications that he's given is now even undone again, by the fact that he's used that argument against Nathan in a debate when he were lost at sea. You get me? It's just another demonstration of him being a duplicitous liar, frankly. And
Betty, that's another good. Betty, did you hear? Do you catch that one? Duplicitous.
Duplicitous?
That's another good. That's a $10,000 word right there.
Yep. But you never get it though.
Yeah, it's hard to get it in the sentence. I've heard Adam do it twice now.
So he's a $20,000 man.
I already fed you. Get the hell out of here. Go.
The cat.
To speak to your wife like that.
Yeah, nice one, Betty.
That's the correct use, Betty, isn't it? You duplicitous philanderer.
You duplicitous philanderer.
Yeah. That's the wiki search thing. That's where you hit our first search. But it means deceitful, and that's my point. If you look at the law of a charge or plea containing more than one allegation, and that's the meaning behind me using the word.
There was another
meanings behind the use of the word. Funnily enough,
wasn't there another word that you liked, Betty, that started with a D?
Did you do?
Indubitably or something.
Indubitably. Sorry, it didn't start with a D, but it had a prominent D. Indubitably, sir.
Well, I agree with your affirmation. I'm no problem.
So you acquiesced.
I didn't acquiesce.
Betty's laughing. You know, that's all of my favorite.
I agree with your exaggerated affirmation.
It's excruciating.
If you say indubitably, it means yeah, I double bubble agree, doesn't it?
What was another word? What did Nathan have difficulties with? What's that word?
Why are you trying to pull it up? He's not in here to defend himself.
Well, he's in the chat. He can defend himself.
Hypostatization.
Hypostatization.
It sounds like you have some of those same failings yourself.
Yeah, it's an absolutely suffering succotash.
Nathan's got hypostatization down, I think now, but
he does.
He's a bit like a cesium. Yeah, but he's a bit like a cesium clock at 3 million miles away. He slows down if you listen when he says it.
He does. It's methodical, right? There's intent.
Yeah. He's like, every time, you're not beating me, you bastard. It's like me with. For that, see, he's got me. God damn it. Phononymous. Ah! See? Can't say it once it gets me. There's certain words just break me.
Oh, yours is luminiferous.
Spectrochocoloscopy, I'm fine with.
Yeah, but luminiferous sent you off the deep end a couple times.
Say it, Adam.
Luminiferous.
He only said it correctly because he heard me say it. Now, if you get him talking about it without anybody saying it first, it's a disaster.
After a couple of wines. And a Scottish egg.
It doesn't have a passport, Betty.
I should get one. So, how do you say that then? Is it the Scot egg? How was your Scot egg?
Scotch, like whiskey.
Scotch. Oh, Scotch. Okay. Yeah. Ah. Okay. I thought a Scotch was a drink.
A drunk.
It could be a drunk.
Bit harsh. Better not the in-laws here.
I wonder what is in that egg.
Vinegar.
Just egg.
So when you have an egg that is half boiled, right? Not really like totally harsh, hard boiled egg.
It's soft
right?
boiled egg, Betty.
Yeah. So okay, but then you do wrap the minced meat around it. You crush it.
Do it gently, Betty. Both hands and cup gently.
How? I don't get it. It's still.
So you're gonna just build another like egg around the egg of meat.
Oh my
But the
goodness.
reason you want it soft boiled is so that your yolk's semi-runny after you've deep fried it. After that, you get your nice runny yolk still. So you got to be careful.
Is that really the case?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, because the oil's not going to get through the barrier of the breadcrumbs, the mincemeat, the egg white. So it's not going to the when you fry it, it's not going to penetrate that far.
Yep.
Depends on how long you fry it.
Long enough to cook the mincemeat, aren't you? Because the egg's already cooked, so a bit of a heat will go through, which is why you want to undercook the egg as best you can.
Right.
Because some heat will get through from the mincemeat once that's cooked, and that'll finish the egg off.
The egg
Yeah.
will fall apart before you ever can put the mince.
Holy. Betty, I think you need to experience fried ice cream.
Exactly.
And all the answers will be known at that point.
The mysteries will be unveiled.
Oh yeah.
I love mysteries to be unveiled. Okay. Well, I thought that the heat of the oil might boil the egg completely.
Oh.
It's
Well, it doesn't melt. It doesn't melt the ice cream. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
You've got to keep that molten iron core in the egg.
Yeah.
The purpose of all this culinary skill.
That's also goes against the model.
Keep it above the Curie point.
Oh, brother. Boy, that's an old one, isn't it?
I was trying to bring it back to flat Earth.
Okay, so I think this one has run its course.
Well, is there any evidence of a molten core at the center of a presupposed spherical Earth, presupposed with a presupposed radius, presupposed by the presupposition of a distant sun with parallel light rays with a curved surface with angled shadows?
Uh-huh. Doesn't sound like it's run its course, Betty.
In a vacuum.
In a vacuum. So, rotating.
With high speeds. To a presupposed galactic middle.
Careening through the universe, around the great attractor.
With an horizon that's level. Though
Stopping every 30 minutes to use the bathroom.
Okay, well, your call, Kiwi.
I'm good. I don't have anywhere to be just yet.
I've got a question, man.
If I could,
Oh, now everyone wants to get in on it. All right, Adam's first.
I was giving you the chance to round out in case you have to get that bow out.
It is 42 degrees, sunny. That's a little bit. I don't play that game. If I could see my breath, then it's not happening.
If you see your breath, you're losing too much CO2. And you have to be taxed.
Can you belly up and speak up?
Have to be taxed.
You have to be taxed when you see your own breath. I mean, that's polluting the air.
What happens if I brush my teeth?
Even worse. Look not in the toothpaste. Fluoride. And
Yeah, gaseous fluoride, right? Oh, brother.
Yeah. It's a death trap. You only go outside when you have brushed your teeth so that you don't pollute the air.
That's what you do, don't you?
No,
You're just projecting.
I hear you proposing it.
You're just projecting now.
No, I'm not. You came up with it. Not my claim.
Save us, Brian.
Say potatoes for us.
Potatoes. And we don't call them them. We call them spuds.
You're so sweet, Brian.
You didn't hear what he said. You didn't hear what he said with your compliment to him, Betty, so he'll be nice to you. Say it again, Brian.
Yeah, we don't call them potatoes. We call them spuds.
Spuds, yeah. I think that I know that word, yeah.
Jacket spud. A woman's favourite dinner.
Why is
Or
that?
a baked potato. Or a jacket spud. Same thing.
Why is that a woman's dinner?
Because they're always on a diet, aren't they? They love that with a bit of cottage cheese because it's low in
That's a
fat.
stereotype fallacy, Adam.
Not. It's called my mother growing up.
She's the
On a
type.
bad day, she'd have a Rivita, you know?
She's the type for your stereo. Yeah. Why are they talking about
Well-
pizza in the chat?
I just want to make the point that there's going to be a group of people talking, or probably are talking at present, who believe that a celestial navigation elevation angle is achieved through the solving of a right angle.
Idiots.
And these people, we've tried to tell them, and they think we're stupid.
That's why I kept rudely butting in on you yesterday. I knew that's what they're doing. When they came to the debate.
What, with the hypotenuse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in too, but I figured it would take too much energy to get in to bum my way in.
You know what, Betty?
Mhm.
Have you listened to it?
To what exactly?
All of the Bev coming into.
Oh no.
Listen, right?
Because
And realise.
I would lose the will to live.
No, well, don't worry. Okay? Just skid through and see if you can hear QE speak at any point. I have never heard such self-control from him. He doesn't speak once. He lets all us just, and then he comes in at the end. But he's there quite a while, and there were many chiggers that, you'd wanted to flick off. I was really surprised how quiet you were, QE, yesterday.
Well, for the most part, for the first 2.5 hours, I wasn't there. That's probably why I was quiet.
And he was heavily medicated, probably.
Nah, but it was still. I've not heard that level of restraint, and it was important, I think.
Yeah, it was. I guess it was a good thing that I wasn't in there for a long time. And when I did come in, I stayed back because, as you guys all know, anytime Nathan is fired up and everyone else is triggered, I could feel it. Even though I just woke up, I said, "Oh, brother, it's almost impossible to get in there."
Nathan was fired. We were all off it.
I know.
Brian kept probing him, trying to get in and explain to Bev. And that's the trouble in those, that Nathan will shout you down. If you're trying to explain anything to the Muppets at this point, you kind of...
Stop mumbling, Adam. Belly up.
Well, they don't. And the thing with them guys is, it's a bit like when we were chatting with the Aetherians. They clearly don't want to learn anything. They're not actually interested in a discussion, an honest debate where at some point maybe you'll learn something or they'll learn something and somebody concedes. That wasn't the purpose of the debates ever. With the Aetherians, or as I'm feeling with Bev, the same. It's not about moving forwards. It's about gaining medals.
It was just dumb. It's just dumb because he's dumb, and then it circles, the conversation circles the drain over quibbling idiocy, right? It's like second graders on the playground. That's what it was like. It was so stupid. In fact, I got up, I just walked away. I said, I ain't even fucking listening to this. Right? Luckily, I came back with the numpty, what was his name? Sir Bagaki, right? With his
Bagaki.
I call him Sir Bagaki. He's just a moron. I told him, I said, you want to take the Pepsi challenge? Because you're operating right now way above your pay grade, Sunshine. I was talking to him in chat. With his little numpty dipshittery. He thinks he's all that. Talking about hypotenuse and celestial navigation. It was fucking idiotic.
Yeah. Do they realise the hypotenuse is irrelevant because you
No.
The adjacent?
No, because they're numpty dipshits.
And you've got a right-angled triangle. Therefore, it's basic trig. Therefore, with a right-angled triangle, you're done at that point. If you've got two angles at side length, you're happy, aren't you?
That's why Adam's laughing, folks, because it's so fucking stupid. He lacks, like I said when I was doing the Bev video. It's like, or the treatment Bev video. It's exactly like drunken Elmer Fudd heckling a metabolic pathway convention discussing gluconeogenesis. It's exactly like that. So
yeah,
and then you try to argue intellectually with the drunken Elmer Fudd, which turns into a catastrophe, right? Of numpty dipshittery. That's what it was like.
Well, the thing about it is that due to them listening to ballers, I won't even mention the ballers because they're irrelevant. Due to them listening to the certain ballers, they were working off of two different things. One, that the globe Earth has an accordion radius, right? One that can move around, expand, right? Like hydraulics.
Hit him with the hydraulics, Brian!
Yeah, the hydraulic radius. And the other one was that QE purposefully left out, right? Now, he did in his original Black Swan, but supposedly afterwards, they don't know about the original. Supposedly, QE purposely left out in his final peace statement the 3959, right? And they think this is some conspiracy or a lack of logic on QE's part that he doesn't know how to formulate modus tollens. And this is last night they were talking about this after yesterday on the show being told why the globe Earth has to be no bigger and no smaller than 3959 radius. It's actually very slightly underneath 3959. Even after being explained to them why it can't be anything but that. It can't be 3949. It can't be 3968. It has to be 3958 point and change. And just leave me just 1 second.
Oh, sorry, mate. I might be being sorry.
Yeah, just saying. Just finish. I know you want to say something more, but the point I'm making is they didn't even learn as to why it doesn't matter if we leave that out at the end. They just think the QE is not able to formulate a modus tollens. That's their final deliberation on it. Sorry, Adam. Go on.
I'm sorry for being weird. They're frustrating, and as you say there, what are they doing? They're certainly not looking into it correctly to actually define a rebuttal or some form of support to it. Yeah, they're trying to find something that means people look at them. And what's interesting in this debate is exactly what happened last night. Having had it explained, they went back to demonstrate their lack of understanding of as I said yesterday, not bothering to look at the detail. And what they're looking for is something to get a medal. Look at me. I've disproved the Black Swan because there's a number this side of the postulate and this side. And therefore it ties them down. Without actually bothering. See, they've seen that and they've jumped on it and thought, yeah. And none of the retards in that group have got the intellect to work through it to see how
it's fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah. And therefore they sit in their echo chamber and that builds up. It builds up to the point like yesterday. Nathan's slagging you off. He's slagging you off, Bev. Yeah, he said this, that, the other, that he comes raging in like he did and made a dick of himself. And this is what they're about to do again. And that's what I saw, Brian, and put it in. But again, it's a lack of them bothering to check into these things before they try to comment on it to make themselves intellectually superior. It's laziness. Yeah. These were my students. Yeah. And I'm criticizing them. What am I criticizing for? Not for not being brilliant, but for not doing the groundwork before you criticize. And that's a proper indictment. Yeah. For anybody that's going to get into this level where we are dealing with decent level stuff that requires pre-reading and pre-consideration and, more importantly, pre-understanding before you can then criticize. And witnessing is just, respectfully, just uneducated people who are Dunning-Kruger thinking they've got a point. And when they make the point, they look at yesterday. They look ridiculous. And it's not a pleasure for me to deal with and slap people down like this. Nathan mentioned it's uncomfortable. Yeah? Because I don't want to call him a dick, but he's behaving in such a dick. It's like Bob and Jaron and all the rest of them. Why are you doing this? What good are you doing the cause? And as smug sod that he is, 3.5, 4 years ago, QE told me this. It's going to be the ignorant flat earthers that bring us down. And this is why I stand up and make a noise against these people, because I don't deal in tittle-tattle and bitching. And I'm not here. I'm standing up saying, guys, look at this. This is speaking for you. More importantly, this is speaking to people that we hope to change. Is this what you want them to hear? I'm done. Thank you for the rant.
Well, the thing about them is this, is they don't call themselves flat earthers, and that's fine, right? But what is the term flat earther, right? If you were being called a flat earther, if you were claiming the earth is flat, what does that mean? What is flat? Is flat a shape? No. A shape can be described as flat. You can say a triangle is flat, or a circle is flat, or a square is flat, etc. But flat, there is no a flat. No one can show me a flat in geometry. You can't show me that, because flat is not a shape, it's not a thing, it's a description. So when you are describing the earth as flat, you're stating that it has no shape, because flat is not a shape. It's a description of non-shape. Whereas if you're claiming it's a sphere, a square, a triangle, then you're claiming it has a shape. So you're claiming no shape to the earth when you're claiming it's flat. And they're attacking people for saying they're flat earthers, trying to make them feel embarrassed for saying they're flat earthers, when the flat earthers aren't realizing that the term flat is a description, not a shape. So if I say the earth is flat, I'm not claiming that it's two-dimensional. I'm claiming that it is without shape. That is my claim. Because you can't say that I'm claiming it's two-dimensional unless you add the shape in there. Because a flat triangle would be claiming that it's a triangle shape that's flat, that's two-dimensional. A flat circle, blah, blah, blah.
The flat triangle is a great example, because the triangle relates to the shape and the flat relates to the nature of the surface of the shape.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a description.
It's a great example.
Yeah, but it's it's more than a description. Don't fall back to just a description. You're going to get your ass handed to you. I can describe a lot of things that doesn't do it. So it's an aspect of the nature of the surface is what it is. Right?
I mean, that flat triangle could have mountains and hills on it. You can build on that. And this is the point, right? We learn these things as a 4, 5, 6-year-old child.
Yeah.
We've moved forward in life, not having to redefine them. Why suddenly, when we get here, these things are point of contention?
Yeah,
Why?
exactly.
For disruption only. Yeah. The only reason is to reduce argument to retardum. Yeah. It's the only purpose to try and redefine commonly understood words. To redefine that when we say the Earth is flat, you go, yeah, but what about hills and mountains? Yeah? It's. And when I spoke yesterday about reducing the intellect, really, are we going to sit here and allow all the things we've got to discuss to be reduced down to that? Because certain people can't just go, you know what, I was wrong. Sorry, yeah, fair point. Let's move on with important shit. No,
yeah,
and I don't
exactly.
Anyway.
I totally agree with you, Adam. Totally agree. Sorry I didn't let you finish. You're exactly right.
Well, let me throw this at you. Right, if I was with Bev and I went into his kitchen and I said, is that a flat surface on his table? Let's say it's a table or counter. He could go, yeah, like, I mean, my table or counter in front of me presents itself as a flat surface. Now, that doesn't mean it's horizontal, because it may not be 100% horizontal. Let's just pre-assume it's horizontal. I can describe it or claim it to present itself as flat, right? Now, if I put a microscope onto it, something I said a long time ago, and even, right, I think Brenda even said it to Bev, that then it'll show to have undulations. So it's not three-dimensional. It's not two-dimensional. It's shown to be three-dimensional, right? That's why that can be a response to that. Yeah, but I can't see those 3 dimensions from my vantage point. The same way as when I'm in an airplane 6 miles above the earth and I'm looking out the window, I see a horizontal line, which we call the horizon. Now, it doesn't matter where I'm flying, right? I can't see, unless I'm flying directly over it, I can't see Mount Everest, the highest point above sea level that we know of, right? So I can't see Mount Everest. So the point I'm making is, from my vantage point, if I was to speak about the Earth as a whole, then you can't speak about it having mountains and hills and valleys, because they are so small as when you take them into as being part of the whole, it makes no sense to describe it as anything else but flat.
Hostile witness, Brian. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, if you take the sphere Earth and expand yourself out, then all of the Mariana Trench, all of the Everest, all of the mountains, to scale, it's smoother than a billiard ball, he says. Now, whether that's flat or brown, that's the point, and that's the point we're making. Yeah?
Yeah.
To go to any surface level, you can deny it's flat because you can show an undulation of some point. Is his point that it's not flat based on a macro or molecular scale? The point negates itself because we all know what flat means. It doesn't have to have the nuance to destroy what it means to mean that there is never, ever any meaning of that term. Because you can reduce it again to ridiculum, down to the molecular scale and say, well, look, are all the molecules lined up perpendicular? No, you know what I mean? It is to reduce the argument to ridiculum, and this is where people like Bev are trying to take it. And if you listen to his channel, it's hours of that kind of debate, reduction to retardation almost. Yeah, and like I say, I don't stick out my nose that much, and I certainly want. I'm not slagging the guy personally off, but look at what you're being fed, people. Is that what you want to digest? But I don't. I want to deal with it and move on.
Well, there's a class of people that ply themselves in this trade way of arguing and presenting information as if it's unique. And that class of people is a beloved class of society. They're known as children. Am I not wrong? Think about it. I not just this week. I had to deal with my son talking about, when you pick up a object, you're not really touching it, right? Because of the forces and electrostatics and all that, that they teach you in class. And this is the first time you heard of it. You're like, oh yeah, wow, I'm not really touching this. It's so cool. Now I'm going to go tell somebody else.
Betty, Sorry, AI. Betty, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I see the super chat.
Have we got that question sorted yet, Betty?
You want to let me read the super chat?
Yes.
Tony Whitcomb says, read my previous comment out, timestamp 2113. And I think it's the one that I did read out. FE bringing people back to the creator, something the powers that shouldn't be have tried to destroy.
Was it that comment or his comment previous to a super chat?
I have no idea. I think this one was it. I don't see the timestamps on the...
Yeah, the timestamps threw you a little bit. Let me read out his previous comment.
Oh.
Bob, the pseudoscience guy. Oh, God, here we go. Do you want me to read it out or do you want to do it?
No, yes, do it.
All right, Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy, has kept... Say again?
Bob, the sewer science.
Bob, the sewer science fallacy guy, has calculated the Earth R as 11 miles? Or is that 11,000 miles? All right, we'll go at 11,000 miles. And the look on his face was priceless. Didn't realize what he did. And then the penny dropped for him. He debunked his own model. Where'd he do that at, Tony? You don't have to put another super chat in there. Just put it in chat. If you got a link, go ahead and post it.
If you can.
I'll read the other one.
Yeah, hold on. He won't be able to post the link. Post the title.
Or you make him a mod for the time being.
I can make him a moderator.
Tony's super cool.
Oh, I know he is. All right, I'll make him a moderator so he can post it.
In person. He's a gentleman.
Yeah, I seen him with you at the at marketplace right there.
In Brum.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the guy that has the funny title.
Funny title.
Yeah. Who was in charge of that?
Jason and the Family Disbury.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you said it real fast too. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah. English common law.
He says on flatzoids.
Say again?
He said on flatzoids.
He did it on flat. He did it on flatzoids.
Apparently.
Where you see that at?
He says it in the chat.
Yeah.
Doesn't it
Must happen recently.
I'm not seeing it. Oh, now I'm seeing it. Maybe it's delayed for me. Okay. Boy, that narrows it down, Tony.
Flat. If you was to want to do a new, up-to-date version of kind of the numpty clips, that'd be the place to go. It's like a milking parlor for ballers. And Flatzoid's demeanor's fantastic, and they just what's Orwins? They just squirt. Yeah, they squirt their records out, and for some reason, they just are happy to just contradict themselves a little bit like yesterday. Yeah, with Flatzoid, his demeanor's fantastic with him. It's not surprising we've got what is it? An admission of a R value of 11,000 miles from Bob. Yeah.
Did you see that one?
I've not seen it, but I watch Flatzoids a lot. But we've been busy, haven't we? And he's on basically due to the power cuts in South Africa. He's limited to when he can come on. So it's kind of, you'll like this phrase, tea time over here when he's on. So I'm often busy, but I'll try and catch up. But I've not seen this, but that'll be fun. I've been on there a couple of times. You should go over, QE, and give him a bit of support to his channel. I'm sure he'd love to have you over there.
Perhaps I should.
You should. He's doing great work, mate.
I catch him every now and again. But I catch it late. I catch the tape version. For some reason, our timings are off. He's usually on the same time I am.
You two are probably properly out, actually. You know what I mean? See, he's off to bed when he finishes his show at sort of 9, 10 o'clock here.
Right.
But yeah, you two are properly out of time. But wicked stuff. So yeah, shout out Backside, and I'll shut up and spam him in the chat for a sec.
Can I say something before I have to leave?
Yeah, because we're going to close up shop. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that on the Try Thinking server, on their YouTube channel, they say, come on over for a chat. That's what they keep saying. But when you go there for a chat, as I know with experience several times, you get your time wasted. They don't listen to that you say, which I have proven with evidence yesterday. And they try to demean you and condescend you. So it's a waste of time going there for a chat. If anyone wants to go there for a chat, you're only wasting your time. They'll only waste your time. And I think what sums up that whole group at this stage, or at least their leader, right, and one or two with him, let's just say, Saragaki being definitely in that, right, is a quote from the Bible I read earlier, right? Romans 1:22. Now, I'm not a Bible reader. I just saw it on YouTube. Romans 1:22. While claiming to be wise, they became fools. They claim to have answers. They claim to be wise. They speak condescendingly to people and about people. They are the epitome of that quote. Thank you.
Any numpty, I don't even use that against the ballers. Any numpty that would use that to validate their own scripture like that, wow, your ego must be immense.
Yeah,
and I've got justification against the ballers. Do you get me?
Yeah, I didn't even know he had a channel until Brian started posting videos in the war room. But too funny. Yeah, I there's no chance me going. I'm not doing the 2015 thing. Just I'm not doing it, and it's just stupid. It's like little Timmy tugging on Superman's cape, and Superman turns around to see who's tugging on it and just smokes his ass. That's how it is. Fucking clowns. Betty, take us home.
How?
Don't you know?
I thought you were already there.
We're close to home, but you got to take us there. Yeah.
You
can't go yet.
But you can't make a drink.
You can't go yet.
Why not?
I mean,
oh, you want me to play the damn song, don't you?
No, I wanted to wish everybody a proper happy Christmas.
That's what I was trying. That's what I was trying to provoke Betty to do, but she wasn't catching the message.
Sorry, a bit of a nitwit today.
Yeah, playing the song, even better idea.
I forgot. I should have shut up and we would have got out of here.
That's a way
to end. Can I leave early today, people? Because
what?
I want to have a Merry Christmas. I want to have a Merry Christmas.
Okay. You want to have a Merry Christmas? That's lovely. Thanks for taking us home.
Yes, that means that I'm leaving before you send your clip with your song.
So I get it. So you want to have a Merry Christmas, and the way you're going to have a Merry Christmas is not to listen to that song.
Exactly.
I'm a quick one, ain't I?
Oh, you're so quick. That's so good.
So Adam wants me to get another copyright strike.
We'll defend it, my friend. Don't worry. Serious. At what point can any reasonable person think that is, I don't know who sang it originally, that is copyrightable against that? Yeah?
That's your compliment, Kiwi.
It's not even got the same lyrics. Words have meaning.
That's also copyright. The whole music underneath is copyrighted.
Huh? No.
That whole tune, the notes are behind each other. That's the whole point.
Nope.
Somebody came up with it, and you can't come up with it.
Out there. It's not right. So the copyright issue is the tune, because like an app or another YouTube video that plays it as a karaoke version makes it. They've got a copyright issue. They need to take it up with them. All you've got is that. So unless the karaoke version people want to take copyright issue with you, and it's the nuance of who has the copyright of what's being played. Well, we're not playing the original artist's song, as proven. Yeah, Q's not singing over people with bald hard. Yeah. So you challenge it because they haven't got a legal leg to stand on. This happens all the time. As soon as a repeated bit of music comes up, bots come up and they'll instantly challenge it and steal your money. But I guarantee you, whoever the artist is, it ain't going to him that's claimed the copyright because he can't. It's not his copyright. QE singing to a karaoke track is not his copyright.
Hey, Betty.
We challenge it, we win, we play it.
All right. Betty and Adam, Divergent Droid wants a copy of the song Bad Moon Shadow with the lyrics on the screen.
Yeah, I posted it to you.
You want me to do it like with Chocolate's videos?
I'm just telling you what he wants, Adam.
I think
Well,
you
that's
need
what I'm
to make
saying.
a separate video just with the song so that everybody has it comprised. Just to that.
All right.
Yeah. Then we don't need to clip it out of all kinds of other good conversations, which can bring revenue.
I liked it as it was when it was played, because when I played it back, the big kahuna was singing.
Yeah, the kahuna that's a good one, Adam, because I noticed that right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's check this out. Let's do this. We're going to end it with this. Happy Christmas, guys.
No. Before we go, then, you can do what you want. Can I have 1 minute?
1 minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not even going to do
Clock
that.
is turning now.
20 seconds. Could have done it by now.
Go ahead.
I just look. Where are we? 5 days away from Christmas Day. Yeah. Whatever your faith, religion, the world gathers at this time. So I just want to send love, peace, wish everyone a joyous time with their family. Forget flat earth. Enjoy the important things in life. And I'll see you on the other side. God bless. Happy Christmas. And a Happy New Year.
Bad moon shadow stretching across your path. Bad moon shadow stretching across your path. Every time you get some good news, ooh, there's a shadow on your back. Saw a retard baller way down in San Bernardino. Said I saw a retard baller way down in San Bernardino. He slapped 5 G's on the table. Said keep me away from my tomb. No. Hard, you got 13 months of bad luck, bound to be some pain. Don't you do no traveling, flying no machines, tombstones shot on, stretching across your path. Every time you get some good news, ooh, there's a shadow on your back. Sold the hard luck charm, cost 8,000 more. So put some on your pillow and put some on your doll. I said take a long vacation, ooh, for 13 months or more. Bad moon shadow, stretching across your path. Bad moon shadow, stretching across your path. Every time you get some good news, ooh, there's a shadow on your back. Whew, that's some mighty fine picking and a grinning. Happy holidays, guys.